Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got yet another Arsenal shirt review, one that I didn't think I would be doing this year, and this is the authentic version of the third shirt for the 2024-25 season. Each season, home and away shirts tend to follow a template, so to speak, from the kit manufacturer, and the third shirt allows them to sort of be a little bit more creative and think outside the box. For Arsenal, that's the case with this shirt this year, because the home and away shirts have the same sort of template and shapes, whereas this one seems to be a bit more original. And it's funny that I use the word original because Adidas have marketed this as a classic original. So anyway, you're here for a closer look and a review of the shirt, so let's get into it. So first things first, as mentioned, this is the authentic version of the shirt, which means the player version rather than the replica fan version. Something I always like to do is to mention the product code for this shirt to make sure you get a genuine shirt. The product code for this version of the shirt is IZ0112, and as usual, this can be found on the attached price tag and manufacturer's tag, and also as well as the tag that's sewn into the collar of the shirt. And to help out anyone who wants to buy the replica product code is IZ0114. So as I always mention, if you're going to pick up this shirt from a third-party seller that's not Arsenal or Adidas themselves, make sure you get the person or the seller to show you the product code either on the tag or the tag that's sewn into the shirt to ensure that you get a proper version or genuine version of the shirt. So in the description, this is classed as clear aqua or light flash purple rather than sky blue compared to another team, and I think it works quite well, it's quite stylish. And as usual with the authentic kits, this is a slim fit rather than a regular fit. So first things first that stands out for Arsenal this season is once again they've gone for the cannon. So the cannon is present on all three of Arsenal shirts this season rather than the standard Arsenal crest. As we've come to expect with authentic versions of the shirt, this is heat pressed on rather than stitched on. So looking up close, you do get this nice sort of pattern that's within it. It does look a little bit like it's stitched on, but with, you know, a sort of glossy finish because it's heat pressed on, but it does look classy and everything is symmetrical rather than if it was stitched on. Just as a side note, I have seen some complaints online that the replica version of the shirt, the stitching on it isn't that great. I haven't got a replica version. I didn't really study them when I picked up this one, so I can't really compare. But as I usually do, I tend to get authentic shirts now if I can afford it because I see it as more of an investment if for some reason I do need to sell it, and it's just a nicer shirt overall. What really piqued my interest on this shirt is the Adidas logo that they've decided to go for. They've decided to go for the old school or classic version of the Adidas logo, which isn't the three stripes. And it might just be me, but this always reminds me of the Power Rangers, the Green Ranger, his power coin. It looks like similar to this. But I do like the fact that they've gone for the old classic logo. That's just a nice twist on things. Just below that, you've got the front of shirt sponsor Emirates, Fly Better, and this is once again heat pressed on as is standard with both authentic and replica versions of the shirt. Similar to the home shirt, the pattern and design in the body of it is that sort of square hatch pattern, and then within the body you've got the light flash purple that they're talking about along with the clear aqua. There's not really any sort of symmetrical pattern that runs through this. It does seem a bit random, but I think it works well. And the material of it does seem very light and breathable compared to the replica version, which can feel like it can hold the sort of odor and sweat of people if they're like exercising or playing football in it. That's another thing I like about the authentic shirts. They do seem more breathable and of course more lightweight for like the professional athletes, the footballers to wear. On this shirt, they've gone for a flat knit elasticated crew neck collar, which has some sort of pattern if you look up closely. So at the top, you've got just a sort of straight pattern, and then you've got a sort of tiny squared, I don't know how to describe it, tiny squared pattern, and then it goes straight at the bottom again. Similarly, they've gone for the flat knit elasticated cuffs as well, which has the same pattern. This is pretty cool because if you have like say big arms or big biceps or something, they can sort of form around those, so they shouldn't feel too tight. On the left sleeve, you've got the sleeve sponsor Visit Rwanda, which is heat pressed on as usual. And then on the opposite right sleeve, it's plain, so you can get your Premier League or Champions League patch or whatever you want to get on there. In the bottom right of the shirt, you've got the authentic licensed product patch. Now, compared to the home kit, this isn't heat pressed on. This is a stitched in sort of taller rectangle patch that does feature the classic Adidas logo, and it does have a gold border around it. So compared to the home shirt, which was heat pressed on, which looked really nice, this also looks really nice, but for more of like a classic sort of look, it's stitched in rather than heat pressed on. And then on the other side, you've got the heat pressed, heat ready patch. Another thing that's interesting and different about this authentic shirt compared to other ones is that the bottom of this is just rounded all the way around. It's not tapered like the home authentic shirt, for example, which is a little longer in the back than in the front. This is just all the way completely round, as you would get with, say, the replica version of the shirt. Now, I thought This would be tapered as well, but I did compare the two shirts when I picked this one up, and yeah, they're both rounded. So I guess that's more of a classic sort of look and feel once again. They're trying to make it a bit retro, I guess. So yeah, it's just completely round all the way. What's nice about this is on the shoulders, the three stripes, the three Adidas stripes are sort of stitched on again. So they're not like the sort of fixed stitching you would get on the replica version of the shirts. If you saw the authentic version of last season's home shirt, those were similar. It's like sort of a thinner sort of stripe that's stitched on. And if you look closely, you have got them in navy blue, and there's like the slight hint of purple on each side of them. So it makes it stand out a little bit more if you look at the details. These are stitched on rather than heat pressed on, so if you're worried about things coming off in the wash, this is at least one thing you don't have to worry too much about. And then moving on to the back of the shirt, there's nothing on there, it's completely plain, so you can get your name, number and all that stuff, but there's no extra designs. It's just a completely plain shirt with obviously just the standard color pattern that runs all the way through it. So that's what the shirt has to offer in terms of looks. All that's left for me to do now is to try it on, see how it feels, and give you my final thoughts and opinions on it. Okay, so here I am with the shirt on. Once again, I've gone for a large size. Now, if I was getting a replica, this is the size I would get as well. Some people tend to recommend getting a size up because this is a slim fit. In my opinion, it fits just nicely. If I turn to the side, it doesn't look too baggy, it doesn't look tight at all. I think it fits just nicely. My thoughts on this, the home shirt did feel a bit smaller in general. This feels like perfect, if I'm honest. It feels very comfortable. It doesn't feel sort of, not that the home shirt felt tight or anything, just in general compared to previous shirts, it did feel a bit smaller, but that fit just perfectly as well. This feels ever so slightly more comfortable. Like I said, I'm not trying to put down the home shirt. That didn't feel tight or anything like that, but this feels just nice. It feels very comfortable, very sort of casual. In my opinion, I think this shirt's very stylish. Now, I have been putting off wearing the shirt with sky blue jeans because I personally feel like I'd look like I'm in a onesie or something, but like say with some shorts or like, you know, black jeans, something like that, I think this shirt's gonna look really stylish. So just to show you the fitting of the shirt, here I am, turn to the side. The sleeves, my arms aren't exactly big enough to fully fit the sleeves. There's still a bit of slack there, but it is quite flexible if I do sort of bulk up or anything like that. As you can see from the sides, bit of space there. If I'm exercising or running around, I can sort of breathe through it. It's not baggy, it's not tight. And then there it is from the back. To give my overall thoughts on the shirt, I really like it. I like the fact that they've gone for the classic Adidas logo. As I said, it reminds me a bit of the Power Rangers. And then for me, it is a little difficult to comprehend this as a football shirt that the players and even the ladies are going to be wearing, you know, to play matches. Very rarely that they wear their third shirt in a season, but they will wear it at some point because it just looks like a stylish, casual Arsenal shirt, in my opinion. It doesn't sort of, you know, scream out that it's a football shirt, so to speak, you know, one that players wear. It does look like a stylish, casual football shirt that you can wear if you want to show off your team. So anyway, guys, that's going to do it for my video review of this shirt. I hope it's been useful to you if you're thinking about picking up this shirt. Once again, I like to reiterate, if you can afford it, I'd advise getting the authentic version of the shirt. There have been some complaints about the stitching on the replicas, and I just think authentic's the way to go. It's a better shirt and better quality overall if you can afford it. But yeah, this shirt, I do like it, and that's the reason I decided to pick up. Normally I just buy one shirt a season, but I just really like this one and I couldn't turn away from it. If you could like this video and give it a thumbs up, that would be great, especially if this video has helped you if you're thinking about picking up this shirt. If you have any questions that you feel I might be able to answer, just leave it in the comments below and I'll do my best to get back to you. So anyway, guys, take care, don't be a plonker, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.